Event 16:33.58 set by the Kenyan squad back in 2014 on the same track on the same day that the USA squad, including Kate Grace, set the American record at 16:55.33. Those numbers are the target for Bowerman Track Club tonight. The first event, the women's 4x1500 meter relay. Officials just getting, making sure everybody's in place. Again, 15 laps of this track. And the starter has been given clearance, and here we go. The women's 4x1500 meter relay is a world record in sight tonight.
I was wondering about this. Courtney was going out. The one thing early on is that they can work together. So Courtney can work right now to help set a good pace for Colleen, while also running a good time for herself.
We talked about the pace that we would need to see from the women tonight to go after that world record, about 4:08, well within Colleen Quigley's wheelhouse, a lifetime best of 4:03.02 set back in 2018, and Courtney Frerich's right there in the mix. 4:07.39 is her new lifetime best, which was set on this track the last time we were on here.
It looks like Courtney's kind of pacing Colleen.
So about 64 seconds on that first 400.
It's a little quick.
Your words, not mine, but you're right.
I think it's also exciting to get out there. But yeah, the idea is that, I mean, it's great to go fast. You just want to make sure that she pulls them through and that Colleen can finish strong and hand off to Elise. Yeah,
well, you take a deep breath and you look at the projection that the timer will put out on this as you get one lap down. They project to 16:03, which would break the world record by 30 seconds. I mean, why not? You know, it's for a fundraiser, right?
That'd be great. You know. Maybe this is all a hidden thing. We're just about to blow it away. I also forgot, the handoffs are going to be at different locations because it's 1500s. That's the hard thing with this race, to be honest, is once this first set is done, you're just you're running, your start and your finish is nowhere near normal. So it's weird as a track athlete when you're so used to being always at the finish.
Maybe a couple of seconds slower on that second lap, about 2:10 as they came through, 66 on that last lap. So still fast, but now maybe being a little bit smarter.
Right. I think Courtney's pretty good. If you go a little bit too fast, you don't want to just completely make it all up in the last lap, because then you're yo-yoing. So she's probably now on pace. And I guess now is letting Colleen take over.
So Colleen Quigley now to the lead here in this first leg of the women's 4x1500 meter relay. Part of the fourth edition of the Portland Intrasquad meet. Great to also see a lot of the other athletes of the Bowerman Track Club around the track, some of them warming up for their event, all cheering on their competitors. Courtney Frerichs has now fallen well back of Colleen Quigley, looks very strong. And you mentioned it, Cases, this will be now that last lap. They'll come all the way around here where she will hand off to Cranny.
Colleen is very good, I would say, as someone that I practice with her quite a bit. I mean, all of Jerry's athletes are, but holding that hard pace, even when it hurts, she's able to muscle through. Obviously, she's had incredible performances. I mean, I think her PR 1500, she basically led the last, the last 500 meters, last 400 meters. So she's well suited for this.
Well, you talked about it too, Kate, that because of the setup of this actually being 15 complete laps of the track, but each of these 1,500 meters is running a very odd, until the last leg, 1,500 meters. So you have to sort of think about where you really need to finish, and in this case, she's only got 100 meters to go before she's going to hand off to Cranny.
And she's on the curve. I mean, you never kick on the curve, but again,
So we're looking for 4:08 on average here, and I think Colleen Quigley is going to do her job. And again, that transition on a handoff is equally as important, as Cranny now has it and was well within a couple of strides within that 4:07, 4:08. We'll try to get some official splits for you if we can, but now the focus is on Elise Cranny and Mariel Hall with the baton as well for the second Bowerman squad. Now about 60, maybe 70 meters behind the leader, Cranny.
Yeah, it looked like Colleen did it perfectly. And Elise is now, I mean, this is a tough one for Elise. I feel like a lot hinges on her leg in a way. Obviously, Karissa and Shelby are going to do amazing, but I do not envy Elise right now running this by herself. Obviously, we're saying 4:08. Yeah, sure, her PR is quicker than that, but it's not easy to run 4:08.
Cranny's lifetime best 4:05.83. That was sent last year in Minsk. It was an event you were at as well.
I was in that race.
Yep.
That was a fun one. That was USA versus Europe in Belarus. Who knows?
So Cranny threw her first.
I think I heard 65.6.
Yep.
So that's the one good thing about this, where when we did not have that at World Relays, is the coaches can be right there giving you the splits, which does help so much, especially when you're in this weird situation where you're not running a traditional 400 at the start and finish of the track. So like when we at World Relays, when we were doing this, it's so disorienting. You have a huge crowd in a stadium cheering, and you can't hear anybody, so you have no idea what your splits are. Whereas at least here, Jerry's right in her ear.
On the first complete lap around the track to the finish line, she ran 66.07. The projected time based on the pace currently is still under the current world record. They're pacing to 16:29.59. Still a lot of racing left to go. And as Kate Grace has mentioned several times, Elise Cranny really just running now against the clock, trying to get urged on as she see and hears now from Coach Jerry at that point. Her second lap of the track, 800 meters down, a little less than half of her 1,500 meter second leg to go.
She's looking great. She has other teammates cheering around her on the track, which does help.
And a little bit quicker on that last lap, 65.77. So picked up a little bit of momentum. Let's see if she can extend it now. Mariel Hall coming to the finish line at 6:54 on the clock.
What is a 4:08? A 4:08 is about 66 flat, right? Okay, so she's right in that range. And again, they're thinking that Karissa and Shelby can continue to push them under. So that's 400 to go, right?
That is 400 to go in this second of the legs in the women's 4x1,500 meters. And if you're just joining us again, this is a record attempt for the Bowerman Track Club women, as they're going after a record of 16:33.58 held by the Kenyans, set back in 2014. 65.77 on the previous lap, and a little slower on this last lap, 67.65. So now she's trying to hold it together for this last stretch of the race. Mariel Hall now coming down the main straightaway, but Elise Cranny now trying to find that last bit of energy in the legs.
Looks like she's trying to kick here. Looks like, I love watching their strides. Everyone is so strong right now. Elise is just off a 48, 5K.
And the back half of this quartet of American distance stardom is one of the newest members of the all-time list in U.S. 1,500-meter racing history, Karissa Schweitzer, who ran 4:00.02 just a week or so ago, now has the baton, with them still just under world record pace.
That was perfect. I think that's Colleen and Elise went through, did the job, kept the team under, and now hopefully Karissa and Shelby can just continue to extend that.
Well, it was 67 point on that last lap, and with a transition between Cranny and Schweitzer, they picked up almost 2 seconds on that last lap in combination with each other, which is a great sign given that they also had to have that baton transition in there.
Look at that. Maybe they've been practicing their baton handoffs.
And Schweitzer looking very good right now.
Wow, that was a that was a quick first lap.
Put together some phenomenal performances in these intra-squad races. Going back to intra-squad meet number 2, became the second fastest American of all time at 5,000 meters. She finished second behind Shelby Houlihan, both now besting the previous American record. Again, 65:11 on that last full lap around the track. 64:76 as she starts to pick up the pace here. And now that world record definitely in jeopardy as the projected time now 16:28:57, good 5 seconds or so under the world record.
I think Karissa has a little bit of a, I don't know if you say chip on her shoulder, but she definitely was ready to go under 4 minutes last week and was so close, and she'll do it when next time. But I think it's fun for her to get out here and show her chops in the 1500 again. I love seeing Jerry running across the track.
Well, these types of records certainly mean a lot to the athletes, but they can mean even more to a coach who has seen the development of these athletes over the course of this very unusual, hope to never see another one quite like it season of 2020. And as she comes to the line right at about 11 minutes on the clock, and waiting for the updated last split, 67:40. So she lost a little bit of time on that last lap. Projected now to 16:30:80, still about 3 seconds under world record pace. She has one now full lap to go before she hands off to the American record holder, Shelby Houlihan, who will have the job of bringing the baton home.
She's picking it up. Looks like everything looks great. I think she realizes it's hard to keep your focus in these races when you're completely alone, as we were saying. She's going to bring this one in hard. It's going to be good.
Well, you can just see it with every stride now. That pace is increasing. Again, we'll keep that eye on the clock here at the finish line. 67:40 was the last full lap of the track. As she's running all by herself. Now about a mile to go in this women's 4x1500, 12:06 on the clock with 100 meters to run. She picked up another second there, 65:98.
One of these weird ones again. She's kicking it in on the curve.
And gets the baton safely into the hands of Shelby Houlihan for the final leg here. 16:33:58 is the time to beat.
It always is fun to see Shelby run these. She's also been the one that's been rabbiting the last 1500, so I feel like if anyone, she is the most prepared to run this pace from the front. And I feel like last week she paced both races.
Set that American record last year in the World Championship final in Doha, 3:54:99, where she finished just one spot off the podium in 4th. And Schweitzer ran 65:98 on that last lap, and it's down to 64:26. So fresh legs helping that clock move along, and now about 5 seconds under the current world record.
Nice. Shelby's also just the most has the most experience at international 1500s, so I think it's funny watching her. She looks like she's not even running. When she started, I was like, wait, she's not going fast enough. But I just think it's because she's so used to this pace. 32-second 200s, 64-second 400s. It's like clockwork for her.
We get a good sight of some of those fans that have moved up to the fence just outside of Jesuit High School here, and may have a view of a world record. I don't know what the world record is for the fewest number of spectators in a venue, but, you know, not by design here, but obviously by necessity. But could see something special here over the next couple of laps. 65.51, so settle into a pace there slightly slower than her first lap, but still about 5 seconds under that world record.
That's 2 to go. I was going to see if she can start. No, Emily's a little bit far out. If she could start reeling her in. It's always nice to have someone to aim toward. That's one thing you saw last week in the 4x4s. Shelby got the baton way back and just like 8 people up. And it's a really fun part of a relay.
Less than a lap and a half to go. Emily Infeld is the other Bowerman Track Club athlete on the track, now reaching the finish line with 2 laps to go as Houlihan comes off the final turn, and now we'll wind it up for one more lap around the track as we keep an eye on the clock. 16:33.58, a record that has stood for 6 years, and at 400 meters to go, 15:22, 66.03 on that last lap, still 5 seconds under the world record.
Question at this point is how far can they go under? Can she get another second off there?
On the backstretch for the final time, Shelby Houlihan chasing down the world record. And as she hits 200 meters to go in classic Shelby Houlihan style, you just start to see her wind it up now in front of that crowd watching from the outside, but they will be part of this historic moment as we come into the final 100 meters.
I always love to see when she goes to her arms. It's like she goes into turbo mode.
Colleen Quigley to Elise Cranny to Karissa Schweitzer to Shelby Houlihan to a world record. As we'll wait for the official time here, 64.74 on that last lap, 16:27.02, a new world record.
Wow. They did it. And this is why relays are so fun. You get to celebrate with your teammates afterwards.
And I give Colleen credit. She already has her phone in her hand, and she's she's ready to do the on-camera interview, hopefully. Emily Infeld now coming into the final stretch here. The other squad from the Bowerman Track Club also performing well on this night, but a new standard has been set in the women's 4x1500 meters. 6.6 seconds taken off the old world record, of course, burying the lead for Kate Grace. Also a new American record. So Kate's now, I think, safely part of the number 2 all-time American quartet. But, you know, if you're going to have a record broken, might as well be by friends.
And I guess the good thing is I know that I'm on their team, so maybe I can get them all to run one with me next year and we can break it again.
I think this should be an annual occurrence. It would be, it would be great. And, again, it's, a tough situation in the environment we're in where we're only having a couple of, teams on the track, and it's, at this point, not a spectator-filled venue and really be able to celebrate a world record in the way you'd kind of want to celebrate a world record. But, again, for these athletes who have been putting in all the time and effort in the midst of quite honestly, a time where everyone's struggling just to keep focus is just a remarkable testament to what's been going on with this club all season long.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's so impressive. Again, that most of that was done, they were doing that solo. So it just shows how focused people are, how people are able to, keep kind of running toward your goals.
We don't need them to see that.
Right.
But, yeah, feeling good. Beautiful night here. We're never home in Portland during the summer months, July, August especially. So it's been some positive things with all the negative stuff going on in the world is being home and enjoying the good weather that Portland has been offering these last few weeks. So.
Well, let's talk about this men's 4x1500. A little bit different here is that we actually have multi-nations represented in these crews. We got Marc Scott, Mo Ahmed, Ryan Hill, and Woody Kincaid on the A team, and the B squad, which is an all-American contingent of Evan Jager, Grant Fisher, Sean McGordy, and Lopez Lamong. That seems to be this is built for being a pretty good race.
I'm very excited for this one. Unfortunately. Well, actually, I should say fortunately, arguably two of our best legs are on the foreign squad, or I guess B squad, A squad, whatever. So I think it's going to make for a pretty good race. As you see Evan going by Marc right now, I think that was the plan for these two to kind of like trade off laps and ideally finish together to allow the second legs to do the same thing and work together. And that's the plan. So we'll see. Hopefully everyone's feeling good. But yeah, Marc is fresh off his huge PR last week, 3:35. So obviously he would be for sure on an A squad had he be American. But it's great to have him out here today pushing Evan, and hopefully help that all-American squad under the record.
Well, and for Evan too, he's still trying to get back. He's been dealing with a little bit of injury over the last calendar year or so, and then to have 2020 sort of kind of rug pulled out from under him. And same situation for you. I mean, I guess how have you addressed the reality, right? I mean, you have the moniker of, I guess you're going to be the longest Olympic reigning champion, right?
Second. Sebco's the only back-to-back, so.
Yeah, but 5 years without having to defend it is kind of nice.
Oh, yeah, I'm the second longest reigning.
Yeah.
But
how have you kind of had to come to grips with that?
Understanding that it's not just me. There's plenty of Olympians and aspiring Olympians out there that worked their tail off the last 4 years and obviously had high hopes and dreams for this year. So understanding that it's not just me, and there's a lot of bigger things going on in the world. And, I did a really good job this year of just kind of staying in touch with close friends, family, mentors of mine to kind of, keep me just kind of in the moment. Also see that there's bigger things down the road and kind of keep me plugged in. So that was really nice and helpful a lot.
See Evan taking the lead again from Marc Scott as they work their way down the main straightaway.
Mm-hmm. They're doing a good job staying together. This is, on paper, this is how it's supposed to go. But as we know, a lot of things, as we mentioned earlier with Kate on the mic, just a lot of unexpected things happen on relay. So it's nice that they're literally side by side right here.
Well, and we talked about it as well, because this is 15 laps of the track, everyone running their 1,500. The first three legs are very odd from a racing tactic standpoint, because you're not finishing where you normally do in a 1,500. I mean, how would you think you'd want to adjust for that? Because it's probably sort of like muscle memory, mental memory to run a standard 1,500.
I think you just got to understand, know where you're receiving the baton and when you're leading off, and just kind of approach, just go quarter by quarter. And it's nice to have that clock down there, kind of like giving some splits, something to kind of have. But also you hear Jerry down there giving your quarter splits. So at the end of the day, we're all professional athletes, as Mo just goes racing by Grant, which I believe was the plan. I think, as we saw in the first leg, Evan and Marc switching laps. I think Mo's just going to take it on here and have Grant just kind of sit in there and feel as good as possible until he's ready to go. But Mo is obviously in incredible shape, and he can take Grant to a very fast time, which will be very nice to have. As I missed that first split, as I was kind of chatting with you a little bit. What was the official split for Evan there? Let's
see if I can pull it up while we continue to talk here, because the timers didn't have a camera at the 1,500-meter handoff point. I don't know if we've got a standard split, but we'll work on trying to get that here as we continue to follow this second leg with
Yeah, I mean,
Mo Ahmed ahead of Grant
I was going
Fisher
to say the clock is stopped now. There it goes. But we don't have the projected up there as we did with the ladies race, so we'll see.
Well, we just figured you had that in your memory, right?
Oh man, okay. I can multitask. I can't triple task here, you know.
Hey, as we watch these guys go through, you talked about kind of enjoying the opportunity to do some things you wouldn't otherwise get to do. Enjoying some time in Oregon is one thing, and I totally get it as someone who spends a lot of his time not in Western Oregon in the months of May, June, July, and August. But you also had a real special opportunity just a week or so ago, being back in D.C. and being able to celebrate a special moment for Jim Ryan. Just talk about that moment.
Oh, man. I've idolized Jim since, I would say, even before I really got into the sport. I've always enjoyed running in middle school, and having my dad be a two-time Olympian and my mom ran as well. I knew of a lot of track athletes, and my dad bought me the Jim Ryan story back in high school, and I believe it was probably the only book I read in high school, but I read that thing about a dozen times. It became my Bible. I could tell you every single workout that guy did in high school, and I just drew a lot of inspiration from Jim at an early age, and obviously a guy I aspired to and looked up to for many, many years. So fast forward to 2016, I received an email from him as I woke up from my nap and was getting ready to drive over to the Olympic Stadium for the final. And I got an email from him and his wife, just sharing a Bible verse with me, telling me that they were thinking of me, praying for me, and wishing me all the best. And that meant everything to me. I was super stoked to receive that email. Also got to speak to El Grouge before that race and Sebco after. So it was obviously an awesome day. But Jim is obviously someone that I was anxious to finally meet, and I couldn't imagine a better opportunity to honoring him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So.
Yeah, and he had Alan Webb there among others, and
Yes.
small audience, and those are moments that he made some remarks. I watched the extended version of both the presidential part of that ceremony, but also the remarks he made afterwards. It was televised by C-SPAN, and he genuinely wanted you guys there. He felt like that was an important part of.
I felt that for sure. It's one thing to say it. He made sure I was in almost every photo with him and his immediate family, and he asked me more times to bring my Olympic medal than to make sure I was coming. I think if I said I couldn't make it last second, he would have told me just fly that medal out. So yeah, he was super proud of me. It was great to get both of our Olympic medals and in the Medal of Freedom all in one picture, and it was a really cool thing. See if we can get a split here.
About 7:16 or so here as the third leg of this men's 4x1500, and for the American quartet.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bummed right now I'm not getting these quarter splits or seeing what overall they're splitting on each leg.
So we got Sean McGorty and Ryan Hill now. Ryan part of the group that included Marc Scott and Mo Ahmed, so mixed nationality squad as he takes the lead here.
So far, everything I think Jerry had want to happen is happening. We have two teams that are still very close together and can still work together and push each other. I know Mo, obviously, coming off his 334, can do incredible things, but him being able to blow past Grant, carry him to a fast time, but not just drop him and stick together, I think this is going to pay dividends down the road in the later stages of this relay. So they're doing a great job.
So the last American squad to run what is the American record was part of that 2014 World Relays event in the Bahamas. Patrick Casey, David Torrance, who we miss terribly, and Will Lear and Leo Manzano. That was the quartet that ran 1440.80. The race won by the Kenyans in a world record time of 14:22.22.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was a wild race. So yeah, they're 7:15. They're about 10 seconds up on the American record right now.
Yeah, 14:34.72 is the projected finish time as they came through that last complete lap, and 58.96 is our timing system now working at the finish line, but enjoying this third of four legs. As you've gotten integrated into this squad, and I talked to Kate about it, is what every situation is different. Coaching, training, otherwise.
Sure.
What is the thing you'd want people to really appreciate about this group in particular?
I think just the team aspect. we're very close-knit, very much. I don't want to say we're very much like a college team, because even my college team, we kind of went off and did our own things. But, yeah, just the team camaraderie. I mean, you'll see, I don't know, obviously I was watching it and noticed all the guys cheering on the girls just now before their races, and you'll see the girls do the same thing for the men here. But, there's a lot of people on social media that post, nice things about everyone else, but this team follows through, and they actually mean everything they say on there. And there's great people, good people all around. And, we've done plenty of camps now. We get together for game nights, and, houses take turns cooking. And so it's just, honestly, I never had this in college, so it's actually really nice at the age of 30 now to kind of get this sense of team element that I've been lacking for so many years. As in high school, I was even training by myself and doing my own thing. But, and now here comes Sean starting to kind of pull away. I think it was nice to have Ryan kind of pace Sean a little bit and keep it pretty, I don't want to say conservative as he was running 58 points, but, he's a temperate guy. He's not going to go out there and blast a 54, and he's very reliable that way. We usually put Ryan on the first few intervals of each workout because we know it's going to be right around what Jerry's asking. So,
well, he gives the baton on the final handoff to Lopez Lamong, who will work his way down the backstretch. This is the traditional staging of a last leg and a normal 1,500 meters, so everything's just again, committed to muscle memory and just run your race. They're definitely under American record pace right now, fresh off the world record set by the women just a few minutes ago. And, Lopez, somebody you've known and have participated in on the global stage of the Olympics. We saw what he did at the 5,000 meter distance. And again, you talk about that team aspect, everybody celebrating in that moment.
Yeah. Lopez is sorry, I was just about to go off on Lopez as an athlete. This guy is an incredible guy. He could do it all, from obviously winning U.S. championships in the 10K, and he's the fastest guy we have on the team when it comes down to speed work. I've seen him blitz a 35-second 300 in practice and go on and run 27 flat at Worlds. So I'm not surprised by anything that Lopez goes out and does on the track. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what his 4x4 split is tonight, as I know he split 51 last week and he's capable of much faster. So maybe a little redemption there tonight, but we'll see later today. But
and you like these mixed relays?
Who doesn't? Are you kidding? Yeah, I mean, I know we do them at World Relays, but hopefully they can start having them at global championships such as just the World Championships and Olympics.
And was added in the Doha program this last year and will be added to the Tokyo program in 2021.
Awesome.
So, coming up on 2 laps to run here for Lopez Lamong. Woody Kincaid running trailer here on the second squad.
It's a funny thing about for Woody tonight was, I think if he was in striking distance, he was supposed to make a surge, sprint past Lopez, and kind of be a little shield for him for as long as he can. But it seems like that gap is a little too much for Woody to kind of make up right now and go around and do that. So I think this is just going to be Woody back there in no man's land and see what he can pull out.
Well, again, the American record is 14:40.80. Set back in 2014 with Pat Casey, David Torrance, Will Lear, and Leo Manzano. Still 5.5 seconds under the American record, with now just a lap coming up to run for Woody Kincaid. Interest perhaps in a time under 14:52.37, which constitutes the club record, because we have a quartet that's from different international borders. They'll be going after that potential record. He's got to run about 63 seconds or so to get under that mark as he now tries to chase down Lopez Lamong. Even Coach Jerry can't stay with Lopez as he goes down the backstretch for the final time.
Hopefully he's got a little something extra in those legs this last 200. He went 59.60 for the middle lap, so definitely a pace he should be comfortable with, and hopefully saved a little something to ensure that they get this record here, as he looks like he's just ripping it now.
Well, and as you celebrate his final 100 meters. Also, just look at the celebration coming up here on the main straightaway as every Bowerman Track Club member who is not in competition right now there to cheer him home. A new American record.
Look at that. Oh,
57.
Sandbagger. Look at him. Just sandbagging that penultimate lap.
14:34.97 as they go under the previous American record by 6 seconds. Again, last lap 57.14, and the other squad with Woody Kincaid on the anchor, 57.55, not too shabby on his last lap as well. 14:44.70 is a new club record.
I was just thinking the same thing. That other squad put up a nice little fight there. Look at Woody coming down, held on pretty well. We need to find out these official splits. I'm chomping at the bit here.
Well, we'll try to get them to him. There are live results online, so for those who are interested, go to live.athletictiming.net, and those splits will be made available just as soon as they are available.
Yeah, we had for 3 legs there. Oh, I was saying like how close it was. Yeah, too. Now on to the fun stuff, right?
So we have a 4x800 coming up and I think they're going to give everyone just a little bit of a break and then come back with that 4x4 to end the night. I mean, these have just been, I think, in some ways we're just kind of here just kind of watching what you guys would probably be doing if we weren't here, but it's kind of cool that you're giving us a chance to bring it to the viewers at home. And I'm sure as someone who does a lot on the social media, you engage with a lot of fans and, getting a sense that people are just excited about being able to see anything that remotely resembles track and field.
Everyone's craving sport right now for sure. Having too much fun down there, and I'm pissed.
No, I mean,
sorry. So go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, order of gender in a race like this. Looks like they're going to put all 4 men on the line here for the first leg.
Okay.
I think from last week we learned that putting a woman first is hard because then you end up just like with a huge deficit. So it's nice to have people kind of keep even.
Keep you in the race a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. But then again, Marielle's team last week almost won. So CD did say that Lopez was pretty mad at him last week. So I think he's coming raring to himself here.
Like I said, oh, this is a tactical affair. Look at this. I don't know.
Oh.
So, okay, all 4 of these guys have raced already. So they're I think it's just CD that hasn't raced, and might be just CD, right?
CD is the only one who hasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, amongst everybody?
Among all these.
I think, yes, among everybody.
Okay.
He's the only one who's fresh.
Yeah.
I can't tell paces. Is this tactical?
I can't see the clock.
Clock's down on.
I can
probably pull it up here.
For an 800, it looks pretty tactical. Woody likes to do this thing where he looks like he's falling off, but he's really not, and then just kind of kick past everyone the last 200, and it seems.
Well, and in this case, there's nothing wrong with good old-fashioned racing, and that's there's no real. there's no records to go after.
Exactly. And they also need to save something for the 4x4s.
Slow down, Kate. One race at a time.
You're right. That was bad.
61-21 on the opening lap.
So you want to ask if that's tactical? I want to know what will be bigger bragging rights, the 4x8 win or the 4x4? I'm going to say the 4x4.
I think 4x4.
Yeah.
You're just always, you're just primed in track. That's the one that matters, right?
Well, we don't get chances at 4x4s, us distance runners, so I would think that's...
Mid-D, I ran 4x4s all through college.
Whoa. Did you go to Yale, by the way? Okay, Woody is definitely
showing the effects of that last race.
He's definitely gearing up for that 4x4.
So it's Mo and Evan, 1 and 2, as they'll come down, and it will be
Mo practically leading wire to wire.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 athletes, but only 3.
Oh,
Mo's gonna.
What?
Oh, I guess he doesn't have a relay.
Yeah, he took his baton. He's going home.
Oh. Okay.
So that's
maybe.
so Ryan was to be part of that team.
And they're
So now
sitting
we
on the
have-
infield, so they must have got word about this clearly.
About
Him not finishing. I'm like, oh, they're laying down on the field. Yeah, I think they were aware of this. So yeah, I mean, you just need 3 teams to
Yeah.
to count, and seems like we got so that team is definitely saving up for the 4x4. We got Mo,
They
Ryan,
worried more
Colleen,
about team
and
points
Karissa.
in the grand scheme of the dual meet.
I'd like to say that this is also Kate's team that she picked for the win, and now they are
It is.
absolutely DNF.
It is. So never listen to me again.
Yeah, well, I didn't in the beginning. My team, on the other hand, both my teams still in it for now.
You can't pick 2 teams. That's like
I gave you another one,
a 50% chance of winning.
but I gave you another one.
I know, but like that's not what betting is. You can't do that for.
Whoa, now we're betting?
Well, I don't know. Betting. What do you call it? Yeah, betting for burritos.
68.92 on that last lap for Gwen. Courtney Frericks and Muriel Hall second and third. Second leg of the mixed 4x800 meters.
Still packed together.
Gonna be a kick race.
Now, I am looking forward to that moment, which inevitably happened at the end of every high school track meet I was ever involved in, where everyone scatters trying to avoid the coach who's still trying to put together those 4x4 teams. It's like, I don't really want to run.
I know the problem here is that you have to run because you need 3 teams, and Jerry's already picked the teams.
I think the problem is that us distance runners want to run it.
Yeah.
We never get a chance. So we're all like, pick
coach,
me.
Coach.
But yeah, I think back in high school, after you're done tripling and quadrupling, you do not want to be a part of one of those. But
Oh, but they're so much fun.
oh, they're so much fun.
So CD Chris Derrick will be in this next leg, along with Elise Cranny and Shelby Houlihan.
My team in the lead.
Yeah. CD's also going to just act as a rabbit for Shelby.
67.93 on that last lap, as
CD's going for it.
trying to run away from the American record holder at 5,000 and 1,500 meters, and it's not going to work. That's something I would never say in stadium, because that would be demoralizing for him.
It'd be amazing,
as
though.
As he
It'd be
heard that on
amazing
that
if
lap,
he did
but
say that.
Let's be honest here.
She's kind of reeling him in. She's not letting it get.
I think he thinks
then-
victory is I win the first lap.
He doesn't hear her footsteps and he thinks he's safe right now, but she's lurking. I wish I had a split on this right now.
I know, this is going to be so good. I
Hey,
feel like
actually,
he's going
let
to
me
lead
see,
her.
let me-
I feel like
Well,
he's-
We'll get a split here as he comes through.
That had to be like sub 60.
Yeah.
58.60.
Oh my
Holy
gosh,
smokes.
he's going to lead her to some
And
crazy
Shelby
time.
ran 59.20.
But this is perfect for her because she's got something to chase.
It's going to be ideal. This is going to be crazy.
And she's closing the gap ever
my
so
God.
slightly.
Mind you, he's like looking over his back. Mind you, she just soloed a 402 chilling.
I know.
I mean, this would be impressive on fresh legs.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And the gap is narrowing.
I think we're about to see a crazy PR from Shelby.
Oh, CD, keep going, dude. CD, keep going.
God, she's coming. This is so good. What can she run?
We're about to find out. CD looks
As
over his shoulder.
Derek looks over his shoulder
he's
trying to
really
hold
good.
her
There
off.
you go, CD.
She's holding strong. This is good.
But a fairly even exchange there as Shelby Houlihan does a wonderful job keeping her
What was
team
that, like
in
What
the
was
race.
that?
61.82 for Derek and 61 seconds flat for Shelby
So
Houlihan. Made all that
probably-
distance up.
Maybe just under.
Maybe
just
just
sub
under
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously depends on that first quarter, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. All right, what's going to happen here?
Shelby, that was after a 402. That's.
And 14:23 still
No,
the legs,
yeah.
and 2 pace jobs and a 600.
Make me feel bad.
It's unbelievable. Make me feel bad too.
That's Grant Fisher running alone in third, well back of the two teams in front. Lopez Lamong.
Grant's probably just tempo and a nice low 800 here, getting ready for that 4x4 to
Oh,
defend
yeah.
his championship.
And between these two, who do you got?
Lopez and Sean right here. These guys have, oh man, they were going at it in the 600 last week. I'm gonna give it to the younger buck, Sean over there. You know, he's sitting on Lopez. Lopez is doing all the work.
Let's see where
Sean
he
had that
makes-
49 speed in him last week, and you know Lopez is well aware of that. Who knows? Right now, Sean looks pretty content
Yeah,
just sitting
Sean's
behind.
just sitting on the
Yeah.
back of the heels of Lamong, and I think he's just going to wait till
Yeah.
the last possible moment here. Less than 200 to go. Now coming up ever so slightly on the right shoulder.
Just let him know he's there.
And let's see if Lamong can respond. McGorty comes off in that sort of slingshot off the final turn. Now stride for stride. And McGorty just ever so easily is going to have to now turn up the
Look
gear.
at that.
And he will take the victory here in
Look
the
at
mixed
that.
4x800.
Sean looked
Final
like he had 2
lap
extra
in
gears.
No.
57:07 for Sean and 57:32 for Lopez.
Sean's got a little extra swagger in his step after that last week of
Yeah.
racing. He split 49 flat last week. What are we going to see this week?
How long do you think they have before the 400s?
Enough time for you and I to get down there and do a little, you know.
You could do a little reconnaissance.
Okay.
Okay.
Kate, lead the way.
Do a little reconnaissance? Me?
Yeah, just like get kind of the insider info that we would all need to know going into this final race.
I'll tell you what I want to know.
I'm going
How many more
to-
gears does Sean have?
And as the gun goes off.
We found out about a lot of stuff.
All right.
A lot of good
dish
stuff.
the details, folks. Kate, you're ready.
All the dirt?
Yeah, go.
Well, it looks like there's 4 of them starting, so never mind. We thought we had a team that wasn't going to run. We also were told that Jerry had given them, it was kind of on the 800s, they were given paces to aim for with no clock. So it was kind of a test to see how close they could get. But Shelby
Well, that
didn't
really
follow
helps
the
the
rules.
Yeah.
broadcasters.
It was
Thank you.
2:14 for the girls and 2:04 for the guys. So Shelby, by accidentally, thought 67s were 59s. So, you know, I hate when I make that mistake too.
Yeah.
Right, Kate?
Maybe she was running in metric.
Happens to me all the time.
Look at this here. I knew Woody was sandbagging on that 4x8. Look at this. Oh my. Holy smokes.
Is he going after Lopez?
Yes, he is.
And Chris Derrick will have the lead. Mariel Hall.
If there was any curiosity, I guess, on which one they felt was more bragging rights, I think we just got that answer right now in that first leadoff leg. Because I'll tell you what, Woody looked like a different athlete on that. I saw some elbows being thrown.
Chris also is going after this one.
Chris, I'm telling you, Chris is a different man after last week.
Yeah, it was 50.48 and 51.05.
That's solid for a leadoff.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking standing start for a distance runner. I mean, we need the running start. Look at Courtney, though. She's been...
Courtney's been throwing
Going
herself.
after
Yeah,
CD
we've seen
getting a
Courtney's
lot of
speed.
TV time.
Yeah. Courtney's PR, I think, was only 59 going into this season. And, I mean, seems like she's about to PR again.
She's going to hand off to Elise Cranny, Colleen Quigley, to Emily Enfeld. And Shelby Houlihan's going to have to make up some ground here and already moves past infield into third. 57.83 was the time for Frericks, 56.62 for CD.
Courtney.
Wow. Woody is fired up down there.
Let's see, Elise. Shelby's trying to hunt down Elise. Emily must have been a pinch hitter for somebody.
So
She
this
out
is
there?
much like what we saw in the concluding event last time, where we're going to have
A Sean Grant
will
showdown.
have the last.
But it looks like this team is just... Oh, you see what they're doing down there? Gwen's taking it at the very last.
Oh, interesting.
That was very smart on them.
Yeah.
Give Marc a little bit extra, more meters of run in there. This is, Grant's off, Sean's off.
Oh,
and
this is the same as
amazing.
last
Here we
time.
go. And this is what we want, right? We want a nice big lead. Gwen, who's not really known for her turnover, getting hawked down by 2 Stanford guys.
Oh, they're coming fast.
Teammates but rivals, you know.
Grant has a lead on Sean right now. I don't know if Sean can close this.
I don't know, Sean.
Well, that's the question: does Grant use all of his energy to get to Gwen, and Sean?
I don't think Grant's holding anything back right now. I think he had a nice little lead, nice little cushion in front of Sean. He's not going to let him try getting back in.
Oh, Sean pulling in.
Let's not say this is over just yet.
He's going to have to find something.
Oh,
it's going to be a fast split, though. Oh, my.
Well, nice strong finish by Grant Fisher, 337.
I would not be surprised if Sean ran another
50.64 on the last lap for Grant Fisher.
Yeah, Sean went under 50, right? That had been subs.
And Sean just
49.98 for Sean.
There he goes.
After that 800 when he was working against Lopez.
Just the last 50, and we got the scoop on him. He was chilling. He had a few gears, as we saw. And look, he just ran 49. Proves that.
Chilling.
Hey guys, this has been fun. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's kind of a free format here, and just a
thanks for
chance
having
to catch up with you guys. And let's not get you into the broadcast world just yet. Let's get you back to racing, where we enjoy you more than. Not to say you didn't do a good job here, but for those of us who are trying to preserve our jobs and have no future as 800-meter guys, I just need to work as long as I can get it. All right, I'm going to head downstairs, and we're going to reach, hopefully get a chance to connect with a couple of the athletes down there. My thanks to Matthew Centrowitz and to Kate Grace. And again, the word is we're going to have one more opportunity for some action here coming up in a week's time. But as we enjoy some of the sights and sounds down trackside, I'll head there myself and be right back with you here on USATF.tv.